Hey there, welcome to Social Media Manager. This is Module 1, the introduction. You know what? It literally takes only a computer with internet connection and a business card to think of starting up a career online. But more than that, you need knowledge, information, and experience. Now let us take a look at the newest job vacancy, that is of a social media manager. The social media is a rising platform for users to voice out opinions and share their thoughts and ideas with other people. With the advent of social networking sites such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Google+, the world has seemingly shrunk to much smaller size. Hence, there lies an impending need for most people to manage their social networking site accounts. For any organization or firm, the quickest way to reach the target audience is through social networking sites. They can easily attract potential clients from there. And it's also one of the most popular means of communication amongst the youth and a age group of 40 to 50. It also serves a good outlet for advertising. In August 2010, the largest and most commonly used social networking site, Facebook, reached the coveted number of more than 500 million users. That's right, 500 million users. This meant that Facebook was used and liked by close to half of the population that had been using the internet. Post 2010, almost a quarter of the page views across the internet were for Facebook, followed by the most popular search engine, you guessed it, Google. What does this mean to us? These statistics have much to say about the trends which are currently building up within the social media arena. Social media marketing has become a norm amongst this generation. It will surely rise continuously and become one of the most effective ways of translating the success or failure of any product. For this particular reason, it has become very important to monitor the activities which take place over the social media website of any product. This can also be cited as one of the prime reasons for the sudden boom in the need of social media managers by most companies. Capgemini, one of the most successful French software service providers, are hiring close to 1,000 social media managers. This includes a set of younger workforce which specializes in relating and analyzing trends in the social media sections. There's a flurry of advertisements which are displayed over most of the social networking websites, resulting in a good number of potential clients pouring in to purchase the products or simply to browse through offers which the company presents to the clientele. With the rising number of hours spent by any internet user to browse through the pages of these blogs, sites, or microblogging sites, advertisers have begun to recognize and acknowledge the importance of these websites to increase the product's local and worldwide demand. Reports have shown that during the coming decade, most individuals owning any business would be spending a quantifiable amount of time in gaining knowledge about the various means of expanding their product lines via social media marketing. With an understanding of the importance of internet advertising through social networking sites, a new role came into picture: the importance and functionality of a social media manager. A social media manager is in sync with the current trends in the market and products, as opposed to most of market leaders who have not grown and thrived in the age of Facebook and Twitter. Businesses need experts from amongst the social media users who are abreast with the current trends and can guide the management in making use of various fruitful tactics, owing to their regular and continuous interaction. These managers should have a good understanding of choices of other users, which they can help predict the success of any product which is launched in this space. Apart from understanding the business and clientele, any manager who is responsible for managing the social networking for business should also be extremely clear in terms of the product which needs to be marketed in any media campaign. This is the reason why the demand of social media managers is increasing in job classified ads as platforms of leverage for advertising businesses. In summary, those who cease to venture into the online platform will be downright left in the dust. Social media sites serve as one of the most efficient means of understanding the market dynamics and the products which could be a choice to the target audience for any advertiser. The advertising has become one of the most challenging and critical spaces for any product. It's not only a way to advertise a product, but also to win a considerable number of customers simply by utilizing innovative methods of tapping the market. Now you might be wondering, what kind of customers should you be targeting? Well, the answer is most of the companies which have a big customer base would always want to target this section of audience which is very active over the internet. These companies resort to using ways which are not so conventional and are able to attract the vast potential client base. The kind of businesses which would indulge in online advertising would be big firms, because they have a large number of target audiences to focus upon and generally outsource all their online marketing activities. The offline companies usually have a large customer base, so they also would be a good choice. They are the ones which would always require considerable amount of sales and marketing over the most common media of communication, the internet. There could be multiple ways in which leads can be generated for selling them off to the offline businesses. Most of these firms do not have a clear picture when it comes to targeting the audience over the internet, and this provides a leeway to a social media manager who can offer a pristine view of the most appropriate audience which could be tapped for potential usage by the advertisers. As an independent social media manager and consultant, your main target customers should be offline companies and some big companies that are too busy to do everything themselves. Such companies prefer to pay someone else with the required knowledge and free time to do everything on their behalf. More often than not, it's advisable to target offline businesses, because most of the other internet marketers would have various other ways of tapping the market. It is not good to target another internet marketer, since the methods used by such internet marketers are more towards a guerrilla methodology and they can do everything on their own. Offline companies usually lack the required knowledge for setting up a base. In that case, you would be their only solution and they would be solely dependent on you. Another factor which needs to be kept in mind is the lucrative amount of money associated with social media consulting. Companies, after being cognizant of the implications of using social media as a way to market their products, are ready to shell out close to $5,000 to $8,000 a month for managers who would be responsible for managing the social media space for their products. Hence, considering the usability of social media networking sites, there could be multiple ways in which the product could be marketed, which further boosts the role of a social media manager to be an excellent career option. This is Module 2, Overview of a Social Media Manager. So how would companies benefit from hiring a social media manager? A social media manager is able to aid in increasing the customer base and demand, in addition to helping to predict longevity of the product and its prospective market. He or she is also able to analyze and understand the market trends. Furthermore, notice the kind of sites frequently visited by users. Engaging in advertising over social media networking also aids in improving the business profile of the advertiser. Social marketing can not only increase the number of clients, but also goes to a great extent in increasing the visibility of the brand. Apart from gathering followers, a social media manager is also able to discover leads, which could generate business for the brand. The prime reason why a social media manager is hired would be to penetrate the untapped market which exists in the virtual world of the internet. This population is most essential since it gives an overview about the kind of people who exist across the globe and could be potential clients. Various social networking sites such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, and Twitter include a plethora of users who use these sites for both professional and personal networks. Let us now look at the criteria to becoming a social media manager. If you are wondering what it takes to become a social media manager, you must be prepared to have an open mind and willingness to learn. In truth, with dedication and hard work, the task to become an expert at this area is relatively simple. This will be discussed in further detail later on in the next module and summarized into 3 main services. Here's an overview of what a social media manager must do. The activities of a social media manager would consist of developing and implementing a strategy which revolves around monitoring the activities of the business over these networking sites, apart from running various campaigns which fit the product needs. Such campaigns are necessary for creating a platform to increase the customer size. The role also involves regularly interacting with the potential base of clients and a daily set of activities which are outlined for maintaining the clientele. He or she is also responsible for posting services, products, and businesses which would be shared with the audience, and also raising the number of potential users on a regular basis. The manager would be in charge of posting blogs and snippets about the products and services offered. There are various sites which could be used for advertising the products, such as YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google+. Apart from understanding the end users, it is also essential for the social media manager to be familiar with various types of businesses. This assists in applying various tactics in advertising which fall in line with the type of business. Knowledge about the technicalities in the line of business is also a secret to success. Most of the social media managers, despite their expertise in product knowledge, are not able to deliver the best because of their inexperience in the field of technical knowledge in running social networking campaigns. The social media business is open for experts who have an in-depth understanding of not only the nuances of Internet and its uses, but also the details of the firm and products which are to be marketed by the company. Apart from that, it is important to know about all the forums on which the services can be advertised, as this boosts the customer base through the diverse factions of people who could be potential clients for the product. He or she is responsible in initiating conversation amongst customers to retain customer loyalty. It is also essential for the manager to have an in-depth understanding of the vision, online presence, practices, and pricing policies adopted by the company. A social media manager must be apt in analyzing the kind of users who can be differentiated on the basis of the usage of sites and the age group. This can be considered as one of the prime ways of identifying the most appropriate audience for the products and services. This is Module 3, the three main services of a social media manager. Social media managers are responsible for giving the social networking side of any product a facelift, which eventually raises the viability of the product along with its demand in the market. Almost half of the world's internet using population has access to the popular social networking sites, and this crowd forms the core group of customers who are the target audience for most of the firms. Here are the three main services a social media manager provides. The first being setting up of the company's presence on as many major social media sites as possible, followed by getting new customers or business, and lastly, advertising the latest promotions, products, and offers of the company. As the name suggests, the primary role of these professionals is to be responsible for creating a space for the service or the product which has to be marketed. Since this is a virtual space to be dealt with, it is imperative for the managers to clearly differentiate between various kinds of people who access the social networking site and those who do not. This is a continuous process of identifying the customer base and regularly increasing it. In order to set up the business, it is important to know about the business which is to be advertised. The branding strategy actually depends upon the vision and mission of the firm, which would offer the basic guidelines to be followed while advertising the product. Initiate a discussion between various people who visit the website. This would be the first step towards gaining a loyal base of potential clients. After setting the goals for marketing the services, the other important job is to build a strong customer base for the business. Considering the number of social networking sites visited by the users, a large number of sites would make branding much more efficient and productive. For a social media manager to provide these services, sheer knowledge of Internet does not suffice. It is essential for him or her to be abreast with the current trends in the market and the right audience to target. since any shortcomings in targeting the appropriate audience can be detrimental and counterproductive for the product itself. After identifying appropriate audience which have demand for their services, the next step would involve the manager sharing various offers which could be provided to users and the potential clients. With the growing need of internet as a mode of communication and also means of diminishing borders, the entire world is open to a marketer for sharing offers and promotions. A need for a social media manager has grown in demand over the last few years when the social networking sites have come in foray. Phase 1 is the social media setup. In this phase, we will take a deeper look at the first and foremost phase of the whole process. In this phase, you can offer to do the following tasks. That is, set up a Facebook page along with the information write-up. Set up a Twitter account along with profile info and custom graphics. Set up a LinkedIn profile. And lastly, set up a profile in other major social media sites like Google+. You have the option to charge higher if more social media sites are to be covered. The primary task for any social media manager is to identify the most appropriate media through which the product would gain a considerable amount of publicity and positive response. Various popular websites where the adverts can be posted could fall amongst Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, and microblogging sites such as Twitter. Various blogs could also be a good way of making the product popular. This is a way of not only building up a consumer base amongst the virtual world, but also a method of spreading awareness of the product. There are various activities which can be done to make the internet a productive platform for marketing products. Facebook offers various applications which assisting in promoting any idea, product or service, etc. Most of the social media advertisers use this tool in making the service gain a considerable amount of visibility amongst its users and prospective consumers. As a social media manager, you can create a page that carries detailed information regarding the services and the products. This would lead towards attracting a considerable amount of people who would be following the updates and information over this fan page. Apart from Facebook, which is home to almost a quarter of the entire population which runs over the internet, Twitter, the microblogging site, is extremely quick when it comes to the turnaround time in getting back with the number of hits and people who follow a service or product shared over the page. Setting up an account on Twitter quickens the process of making the product more popular amongst a large audience. Most of these sites are for personal and individual usage. LinkedIn adds a different touch to the entire population. It's a social networking site which focuses on the building up of a professional network amongst a growing number of professionals. They might range from those who have similar skills to those who might be interested in knowing various other trades and interested in building their networks. These three sites, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, are the three giants of the social networking arena. Apart from this, even Google has come up with a website which runs on similar lines with Facebook, known as Google+. There is a new set of people who are attracted towards this website, and it comes around as one of the most reliable sites because it belongs to the most coveted search engine, Google. Google+ runs as a competitor to Facebook and contains almost the same users which have been using the latter. Using different social media sites is a good way of advertising the product to increase the popularity of the product across a wider audience, disregarding diverse cultural and geographical backgrounds. Apart from that, healthy dialogues and discussions can be undertaken between the moderators of the site. This involves the social networking manager and the individuals who have an interest in the offers of the firm whose site and details have been shared over the networking sites. After the Industrial Revolution, which set the world towards a high, the next revolution was witnessed with the invention of the World Wide Web, commonly known as the Internet. Since the world was taken in the grip of the Internet, every advertisement, ranging from a common one to a niche product, ventures to meet its future clientele via the Internet before it hits the stores.
Therefore, it has become essential for most of the top-notch brands to communicate their services and product to an audience which belongs to different generations but socialize on the same platform. Many offline companies have such large setups that it gets difficult to focus on another section of prospective clients which exists in the virtual world. Most of these virtual clients might not turn out to be the perfect audience. This is where the social media manager contributes, being aware of the usage of social networking sites via internet. Apart from making effective use of the internet, it is important to understand the product which is being marketed. This is phase 2, adding fans, followers, and leads. If you take a closer look, phase 1 is usually a one-time thing which leads to a one-time payment. Believe it or not, the second phase can help you get recurring business from the same clients in order to be paid over and over again from the same customers who want your service. All you need to do is to offer to advertise their social media site, that is Facebook profile and Twitter profile, to help them get more followers. In this phase, we'll look at ways to get followers, fans, or leads on your client's behalf. As a process of building a social networking media setup for sharing the details about any product, it becomes important to make this information available over various networking sites. Making the audience aware of the existence of one such product becomes the first step in any strategy focusing on social networking sites, as it is a means to reach out to and thereby build an audience. Here are some ways to increase followers. Providing exclusive content, promoting various social media assets, participating in several interactive sessions, building value, displaying consistency, offering something for every sign-up, running a contest that comes with free gifts, using entertaining videos, paying for targeted traffic if all of the above is unable to attract clients. But trust me, that will rarely happen. Most of the companies for A-grade brands are so huge in structure that they do not focus on the internet as one of the most affluent and effective ways of advertising. With the advent of the revolutionary Facebook in the field of social networking, internet marketing has taken a different route altogether. Therefore, any brand which aims to make it big and increase its market size needs understanding about its competitors by analyzing the wide variety of internet users, who could be a potential source of understanding the pulse of a prospective audience. After setting up a base, which helps in the interactions between the manufacturers and the end customers through these websites, the manager would be required to introduce the process of reinstating the importance of these services and products. This is not only for the benefit of the firm, which would always want its customers to be cognizant of its products, but also important for the manager. This is because, as a social media manager, you are paid only once after the site has been installed. If you want recurring payments and to continue your services with the firm, it is important for the site to be active so that potential offers and services are continuously shared with the audience and remain visible for a longer span of time. This phase is important as it is the key toward retaining clients who have been won earlier and would allow a chance to act upon the suggestions and feedback which have been shared by users. This can be undertaken by sharing the product details over a social networking site such as Facebook. By doing so, can increase the visibility of the product and increase the responses which would be elicited and thereby also judge the rate of success of the product. After the product has been regularly advertised over the social media, more fans would join the site. This would be a productive move for the product as it would eventually reflect in the number of sales which have been made in selling the product. The success rate of every product differs with the strategies and the tactics which have been used by marketing managers. These strategies would be a scale at which the performance of the manager can be gauged. For most of the successful ones, the firms would look forward to working with them again. Hence, this would require the social media manager to be equipped with various other strategies which can be used in making the product more successful. Keeping these factors in mind, social media advertisers must not only keep in mind the choice of marketing tools, but also the prices which are to be charged for offering his or her services to the client. Hence, come up with competitive prices that fully represent your skills. It is imperative for the manager to focus his or her efforts toward continuously increasing the number of clients and generating sufficient leads so that the product sales continue to grow. There are multiple ways in which followers and fans could be increased over a period of time through persistent efforts of the social media manager. Since most of the fan base and the clientele would be well aware of the trends in the domestic and international market in relation to the product, it is essential to make the most appropriate projections while placing the product in the market. Apart from that, the innovative way in which the offers and various services for the product are displayed across the website is also an important factor. For most of the products which are marketed online, it becomes important to use creative methods for eliciting responses from the customers.
This is phase 3, managing social media updates or customer service. This is another recurring income stream to keep the same clients paying you, like phase 2. In fact, you can offer a monthly package to your clients which can enable you to earn $997 and above for these constant tasks. Once the base is set for promoting a product or service online, the next step is to nurture the efforts required to maintain the site. This involves not only communicating with prospective clients, but also informing them about the latest offers. In the first step, you build a base as per the marketing strategy, aiming at the targeting audience, which would be available across various websites on the internet such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, and Twitter. Once the appropriate audience has been decided, loyalty is built between the customer and the manager. Most of the future clients are tapped during the first step itself. However, extreme care should be taken while targeting the audience. Making an inappropriate choice when it comes to the clients could be extremely harmful for the future of the product. Take a look at the Twitter profiles of brands like Starbucks and AirAsia. What do you observe? There's always someone replying to Twitter messages tweeted by customers. This is because these companies have assigned employees to interact with customers on a constant basis to bridge and maintain relationships. You can offer to do exactly the same thing for your clients. You can manage and automate tweets or updates on social media sites on your client's behalf. Use hootsuite.com, so that is HOOTSUITE.com, a free service that allows you to automate status updates and tweets for free. You can offer to do real-time customer service on your client's behalf. They should pay you more for learning about their product, especially if it's a really specialized niche or area. Aside from developing the base of customers who would like to understand the nuances of the products and eventually go ahead to use the services offered, it is of utter importance to continuously build a base of customers through various channels and modes, which would strengthen the brand image and maintain long-term customer loyalty. In this phase, the responsibility of the manager is manifold, since it not only requires him to continuously identify new markets which would be successful for the growth of the product, but also to generate leads which result in business development. Maintaining a good base of customers is extremely important, as it requires a huge amount of hard work for creatively promoting the products. Apart from having mere knowledge of browsing through the media, it is more important to understand the diversity in the types of people who browse through these social networking sites. Since there is a plethora of people from across the globe who could be the future clients of the services offered by the firm's product and services. Aside from that, the third step, which follows after continuously endeavoring to maintain and gradually generate the leads, is to offer the most efficient customer service to the clientele. This can be undertaken by reducing the turnaround time of solving the queries that are raised by the customers. Once the offers and deals are shared over microblogging sites such as Twitter, the queries are to be answered in a live format. The time of replying the queries and suggestions should be minimized. Certain employees are employed by most large firms which religiously address all the issues and queries raised by the visitors. Once the accounts have been created over these websites, most of the queries which come up are in real-time mode and are required to be answered within the shortest span of time. This not only increases the credibility of the brand, but also increases the popularity of the product simply by word of mouth. There are various important reasons for social media manager to continue building his network, which would assist in making the marketing strategies much more effective and efficient. This leads to building a stream of continuous funds for the services which are offered by the manager. Similar methodologies can be used in using spaces over the sites, which can be used free of cost. On behalf of the client, these postings can be made across the sites, which would assist in making it much more convenient for the users to have their queries answered. This could as well be one of the differentiating factors among the success ratio of various consultants. One of the reasons why A-listed firms choose to employ a dedicated set of employees to deal with internet advertising is due to their expertise in understanding the current trends in the social networking arena, along with their skill in predicting the future and comprehending various stages that any product would undergo to succeed. Advertising a product in the newest way, which compromises of creative methodologies over the social networking sites, is of utmost importance and value.
This is Module 4, Pricing Your Social Media Service. Now that you have completely understood the three main phases involved in the process, let us take a look at the pricing model. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where you will understand how lucrative this job is for you. Apart from being a medium to connect to various people, social networking sites have now become hunting grounds for advertisers and marketing gurus. The new generation has a battalion of gadgets and modes which can be used to identify services and products of their choice. Not only that, even competitors existing in the market can be identified. As you know, your role as a social media manager is not only to identify potential customers, but also to build a profile to advertise the product while interacting with these potential clients. Such a person is mostly employed by either big companies or companies who run offline businesses. This role involves maintaining three crucial phases. The first phase requires the manager to identify the prospective sources where the product can be advertised and would garner the maximum response. The second phase requires continuously adding the amount of fans, followers, and leads. This would not only make the brand popular, but also increase awareness about the firm's offers. The last phase of building the brand over social networking sites requires communicating with the clientele. This could be on live mode or offline mode, where brand awareness is created and the suggestions along with queries of the customers are resolved. All these steps are extremely crucial and should be followed carefully since they affect the reputation of the brand. Considering the extensive breadth of these roles, it becomes essential to hire different individuals who might be able to do justice to each of these phases. Therefore, while the services are offered for each of these different roles, the pricing can also differ. Now let us see how you can set the pricing for your social media services for these three phases. Phase 1. The architectural stage. This is the most crucial stage, as the social media manager
needs to be competent in identifying the right market and target audience for the services and the products, keeping in mind the processes, mission, and values of the firm whose products are being marketed. Therefore, a fee of $997 can be charged. This can be for one single profile which would be designed over the social media networking websites. In case the client is looking out for multiple profiles to coexist over the networking sites, a higher fee can be charged. The first phase is primary in terms of setting a strong base for the company's products. The parameters for identifying the right market for the products could be demographics, product offers, age of the target audience, etc. Phase 2. For the next phase involving adding fans, leads, and followers, the fee can be much lesser, considering the fact that the process does not need to be repeated. The task can be done for a fee of close to $297 to $997 a month. The fee is differential because the workload and expectation from the client varies. For hiring a consultant who is solely responsible for undertaking all the phases, the fee would be as high as $5,000. Hiring a single expert who specializes in one area would be cheaper, rather than hiring one who completes all three phases of identifying, designing, and maintaining the social networking interface between the firm and the customers. Phase 3. The last phase is also crucial for the firm's reputation, because after developing the profile of the firm and engaging customers by adding them, it is mandatory for the social media manager to revert and address all the queries which are raised by the clientele. In order to maintain the reputation of the brand, it is important to answer all the queries which are raised by the customers. This is also one of the potential steps which could make or break the brand. The queries could be replied through Twitter. Most of the companies employ a team of members who are hired for the sole purpose of answering the queries raised by the customers. The fee charge can range from $497 to $997 a month as well. Working as a third party within the company can acquire a salary close to $997 to $2,997, which would also multiply in cases where many clients are considered. Considering that an individual consultant would charge $5,000 for one project, that is to complete all three phases, hiring an expert on a contractual basis can also be considered as an economic deal. Besides, it would be beneficial for the firm to lower the expenses, which would be involved in hiring employees. These tips can be important considering that any hired expert would prefer a recurring business with his or her client. Hiring a social network manager can be considered to be a win-win situation for both the client and the manager. Therefore, pricing the social media service is very essential for an expert. Now, you have an understanding of how it could be a profitable opportunity to become a social media manager. If you focus on expanding your client list, all the above figures can be multiplied to create your monthly income. This is Module 6, Growing the Social Media Business. After things fall into place, you need to focus on growing the social media business. With a vast amount of individuals visiting social networking websites, the social media has not only transformed into a platform for communication, but also become a place where huge markets are thriving. Many sites such as Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn have advertisements of products which range from mighty to the minute brand which coexist and compete. It is important to understand that most of these websites have an inexhaustible space for both buyers and marketers. There are multiple modes of advertising a service or a product, which can be analyzed by any expert who understands the dynamics of the markets existing over the internet. All these requirements call for an impending need to hire a manager who has expertise in targeting the most appropriate audience viable to market a product or a service.
When it comes to growing your social media business, make sure you follow these simple tips. Constantly search for new clients. Maintain the existing clients and ensure they are satisfied with your service. Ask for new references. Ensure that your turnaround time is minimal. Get ready to invest on increasing manpower. More people appointed will increase your overall efficiency and increase your output. Stay updated with the latest developments of the industry. Come up with innovative strategies. Enhance your network building. Come up with special offers to entice new clients. Give discounts and offer competitive pricing models. In this way, you'll surely expand and grow your business. If you are new to this line, it is very important to be patient until you see the real rewards. You'll have to work hard during the initial phase, but once things have settled, you'll be able to sit back and relax. This is a relatively new career option, hence it is the right time to jump into the shoes of the social media manager before it's too late. The future is greener for this career now, when it still lies at its infancy stage. Most companies look out for social media managers are either offline companies or big firms, which have hired or identified teams religiously managing the social media interface of the firm. For most of the big firms, this is a new market to be identified. Therefore, most of the senior executives hire teams or individuals who are experts at dealing with the markets containing the most diverse clientele. For all companies, it is important to identify an expert who has not only the knowledge of the internet, but also an idea about the complexities of users who could be the prospective clients for the services and the products for the firm. Social media manager's primary and most crucial task is to identify these markets of individuals who could be the future customers of the products. This formulates the first phase of identifying and setting up the social media interface of the firm. There are many organizations which run their business in this space, and the business involves not only selling consumer durables, but also services which could not be conceived earlier to be shared online. There are companies such as Capgemini, which has also identified these markets and hired a team to handle the nuances of the social networking websites and also to maintaining a social interface. Considering all these factors, the social media business is a thriving business, which is here to stay for a very long time to come. This has not only created a pathway for a new way of marketing the products, but also given a new understanding of products to the customers. Through an online method, managers can answer live queries raised by the customers, which builds the reputation of the brand. Making the services more acceptable ways works for the betterment of both the customer and the firm which sells their products. Apart from an understanding of the services, it is also essential to have an in-depth knowledge of the values, mission, vision, and processes based on which the company operates. Apart from the social implications and marketing expertise which are to be considered by the firm and the expert, it is also essential to understand the economic implications which might affect the company and the social media manager. Different phases of the process require different levels of skill and expertise. So get ready to pave way for a brighter career in this line. If you're planning a career in this line, look no further, as this is the right moment to grab this opportunity. A bright future awaits you if you make the right choice.
This is Module 7, Attributes of Highly Successful Social Media Managers. Possess unwavering passion for social media. This might be the most important attribute on this list for some employers. A passion for your job will often lead to results beyond what is expected. A good social media manager has passion for his cause and enjoys the involvement in social media.
The best social media practitioners showcase their personalities with a dash of attitude and a bit of flair, and are very good in articulating their opinions online. They don't need to be brash or controversial in their opinions, but they do not avoid from asserting their viewpoints on behalf of your non-profit, its mission, and its programs. Most importantly, you must hear it in his voice and read it in his tweets. When personal life married professional life. It is a brand new web. It is social, it is mobile, it is public. You have to be willing to be on Facebook personally or LinkedIn professionally. You have to be willing to merge some of your personal life with your professional life online. It is not going to be easy for sure, and remember to draw a line between. For a highly successful social media manager, privacy is a huge concern, but it is not a crippling one. He takes responsibility for his own privacy and takes steps to protect it where and when he wants it. Have a solid personal network. Possess the skill to be social on a social network says a lot for itself, isn't it? Social skills can never be taught, yet it can be nurtured. A social media connectedness is an incredible asset, especially when adding corporate blogging, tweeting, or Facebooking to their job description. People who are already on the move in their social media sphere will slowly realize themselves being invited to manage a blog for the web. So a strong personal network will also add value to the job of a social media manager. This will help the organization leverage on his or her connections to generate buzz and hype around the messages that is to be communicated. Through working well with others on the business and to be able to liaise with other departments is an incredible asset that might count, especially when the individual needs to be maintaining balance of events and issues in other departments. That individual must be able to hit the ground running and is a great team worker. The person is communicating online, thus interpersonal skills will reflect greatly in their day-to-day activities. A resourceful person. Social media strategists deal with troubles of a young, under-budget and understaffed division. In fact, 62% of corporate social media divisions have existed for less than 2 years. Thus, a highly successful social media manager needs to work under these constraints and deliver the best results with what he or she is given. A creative freak. With creativity, it will differentiate social media campaigns stand out from the others. Carry out something different with a set of tools that tens of thousands of other non-profits also use is the trademark of a highly successful social media manager. His brain is always at work, thinking of new campaigns, and rather than shying away from being different and taking risks, he embraces it. Combination of creativity and ability to multitask is the winning combination of skills for a highly successful social media manager. Online communications experts. Just because someone is 18 and came of age using Facebook in his personal life does not indicate that he can manage and implement your online communities on social media sites successfully. Untrained interns were fined 2 or 3 years ago, when the internet was still developing and everyone was experimenting. However, that era is now over. The truth is, in terms of results in social media, you get what you pay for, and if you want the best person for the job, you need someone who has at least 1 year or 2 of professional experience in Web 1.0. He needs to have written content for the web, published an e-newsletter, blogged, and experimented with various online fundraising campaigns. It is hardly seen that someone who, with no background or experience in online communication or fundraising, will understand how to use social media to build an online brand immediately. Being a risk taker. While Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn do not drastically change every day, new social media analytic tools constantly emerge. Companies should search for community managers who are willing to go ahead and adopt an analytics product even if it hasn't received thousands of reviews. An indecisive social media manager could result in a failure to adapt to the ever-changing social technology sphere. A trendsetter. The non-profits that are the most successful in social media today were on MySpace and YouTube in 2005 and 2006. They have time on their side. Online communities have grown in numbers over time exponentially. The faster you start, the more likely you are to be successful. Besides that, online communities also tend to grow the fastest during the early adoption phase. They're not interesting or buzzworthy once thousands of other nonprofits are using them. In fact, in the era of the social web, and even more so on the mobile web, early adoption in and of itself is a strategy. Only those who do it first are most likely to do it best. Be real. Social media marketing has transformed the customer to brand relationship. In a world where people can like a company's Facebook page and compliment or criticize an organization's customer service, social media managers are handled the task of creating a personable brand. It is essential for community managers to move beyond representing the voice of a company and also connect with followers. At Zappos, social media managers maintain a twitter.zappos.com website that displays its tweet activity. Followers can instantly view mentions of the company and tweets from its employees. In the end, people merely want to know a brand is not openly lying to them. Must have a mindset of a journalist. Only well-written, timely content is what directs the social web. Old news is not share, like, or retweet worthy. There are more and more non-profit communicators and social media practitioners need to consider themselves reporters for their causes and non-profits. Always listening, responding rapidly, and sometimes even reporting live. This explains why blogging has become so central to a successful social media strategy. It allows social media managers to react to breaking news by quickly and easily creating content that can be posted and shared by others on the social web. Mobility. A highly successful social media manager should be comfortable with the idea of posting status updates and tweets from any place at any time, when necessary. Whether we like it or not, the news cycle is now available 24/7, and as a journalist for your cause, you need to be too. Mobile technology allows that. Laptops are now becoming more hassle than smartphones and tablets, and as the mobile web continues to expand, so will the tools that have been uniquely designed for smartphones and tablets. The best social media and mobile technology practitioners promote these new tools, experiment with them, and are willing to give up some of their free time outside of traditional office hours in order to be available to their communities 24/7. Masters of emotional intelligence. Social media engagement is not about communicating. It is about listening, then communication. Although the ability to manage difficult personalities is not necessary, it is definitely critical. Emotional intelligence is the ability to not just become self-aware, but to also be able to respond and manage other people's perceptions and emotions. The ability to process information floating around the company, industry, or product will also help collect sufficient knowledge and solve consumer or fans' communication challenges. Prevent social media breakdown. For the whole social good it can do, social media does have a downside too. Social media managers are bombarded with messages all day long on social media sites. It can be too much for the mind to process sometimes, and information overload. A highly successful social media manager knows when to draw the line and takes time away from his communities when necessary. Super friendly, patient, and responsive. Highly successful social media managers enjoy engaging with and responding to comments on social media sites. They relish discussing ideas and issues online, and they do it with the virtue of patience and kindness. They also pay attention to their communities on an almost daily basis. They express gratitude for support, and they acknowledge questions and concerns. They possess the unique ability to diffuse troublesome personalities with kind but firm commentary. It is an important skill to navigate and guide the online commons and know how and when to react. A social individual. This trait may make sense, but do not overlook it. A person who hates communicating with his friends will likely hate dealing with customer complaints on a daily basis. A brand manager's impressive social skills will also translate to relatable blog posts and Twitter updates. Also, an outgoing community manager may successfully engage top influencers for the company. Find that person customers would take to dinner just to share a few laughs. Excellent persuasion skills. Surprisingly, the social media manager's scariest enemy isn't the customer. Oftentimes, it's management. The demonstrating return of investment in social media efforts has been evidenced to be an obstacle for many community managers. Altimeter's survey of social strategies determined that in 2011, corporate social strategies will focus most on creating ROI measurements. This desire to prove ROI suggests a need for social media manager who can pitch the benefits of social media manager to a management team largely unfamiliar with social media. Strong personality. It is important to have a great personality so that you can fit in well with other employees. In addition, it is also important to have a vibrant personality that will resonate with your community. Social media manager is the first point of contact for customers and community members, and his or her interaction will determine whether your audience will have a positive or negative opinion of your brand. A successful social media manager knows how to communicate in a fun, interesting way, who knows how to be diplomatic when people complain or criticize the company, and who can meet strangers at events. Excellent writing skills. The ability to be able to string words together and communicate clearly without ambiguity and misconception is especially important when in the social media space is an absolute necessity for success. A good sense of charm and wit might also get the fans developing a sense of connectedness with your brand. By doing so, it is easy to make this transition if you have background in brand management, marketing, public relations, and journalism. Creative wordsmiths are an excellent resource for your Facebook page. Must be a web fanatic. Never-ending enthusiasm about the web and social media trends is an absolute factor to become a successful social media manager. You don't really need to be a techie, you just have to be able to identify and use daily tools and techniques that make coordinating and engaging through social media platforms effective. Even high degrees and qualifications in advertising, public relations, journalism, and brand management may not count greatly when it comes to online engagement. Why pick someone who wants to feel his way through the web to manage your brand on social media? Fewer efforts will be needed to monitor results and updates when the person is a passionate follower of the web. This is because there are so many new developments each moment that it requires someone enthusiastic to meet up with the trends and interests. An enthusiastic person tends to have a steep learning curve. The ability to be able to unlearn, learn, and relearn is necessary in adapting well in the hectic pace of social media in the world.
This is Module 8, Essential Tools for Social Media Managers. The first tool is Edit Flow. Having Edit Flow in your collection helps you manage your team effectively. You can take snapshots of your monthly content with the calendar feature. It boasts new and improved content status beyond WordPress's default template, and groups can help their writers organized by department or function. Business owners with websites who use multiple authors for their content should give Edit Flow a try. It truly makes management easier and documented. The second one is checkthis.com. The website enables you to create a one-page website with minimal effort because it's so easy. No need to hire web designers and web developers who cost an arm and a leg hourly. Take a look at checkthis.com for your purposeful website needs. Bufferapp.com. One of the most useful tools for social media managers is BufferApp. It works by scheduling your content and posts it on your Twitter or Facebook stream at regular intervals to prevent flooding. This is incredibly handy because no one wants an account that floods his or her news stream. The fourth is Hootsuite.com. Hootsuite is used to manage social media content for Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Foursquare, Ping.fm, and WordPress profiles. It helps you to schedule messages, keep track of all the streams, and measure your performance. TweetLevel allows you to search for specific hashtags, helping you to compile insights on who to follow based on their conversations with other people. Upon finding someone to follow, TweetLevel allows you to measure his or her social influence on his or her followers. You can also use it to analyze the hype around certain topic to determine if it's something worth delving more into. This tool will help you monitor campaigns and determine where in the conversation the problem is, if any. It helps you gauge who to follow for his or her social influence. CrowdBooster does wonders to manage social media activities on Facebook and Twitter.
Not only does it auto-post content on both sides, it also tracks new fans and followers, provides statistics on how many times my status has been shared or retweeted. It shows who the most responsive fans are. Sometimes, social media managers forget to answer posts because of the volume of messages they receive in a day. Crowd Booster reminds you to respond in a timely manner. Lastly, perhaps the most useful feature of Crowd Booster is the ability to recommend the best time to post based on people engaged and number of shares and retweets. Page Lever. This tool offers detailed analytics about your Facebook brand or business fan page that goes over and beyond what Facebook Insights offer. It's very affordable for what it does. If you want a clean look with visually appealing charts that can be used in presentations, this is the tool for you. It easily integrates with changes Facebook makes, such when the regular profile started changing to the timeline. Social Oomph. Another tool that helps schedule tweets to be published is Social Oomph. No one wants one person or account to flood the newsfeed. Social Oomph schedules your content to post at regular intervals. If you choose to, you can assign other individuals to help manage your Twitter account using this tool. Zeit. With the increasing numbers of smartphones such as the iPhone and the BlackBerry, as well as tablets such as the Galaxy and the iPad, Zeit is a mobile app that helps our mobile devices stay active and connected in social networks. This app is a personalized magazine that gets smarter as you use it. It allows you to gather content that is being shared in and by your community. It also integrates with your Google Reader account. With this, you can choose from numerous authors and media sites to build your personalized magazine. You can also plug in your social media profile credentials. Another cool feature is that you can have more than one Zeit profile. For those who have trouble managing accounts, this app can let you view content and share what is relevant to your networks. It lets you share on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Delicious, Instapaper, and Evernote. These tools help you post on more than one site even while you're on the go. Evernote is a cloud-based file sharing app that is fast and reliable. With this app, you can create templates for future blog articles and save it to your iOS devices. It helps you create relevant elements within your blog articles to organize your writing, like the subject, message, titles, examples, rationale, keywords, links, perspectives, and so on. For people who like to organize the various components of blog entries into a logical sequence, this app is for you. Overall, Evernote makes it so much easier to brainstorm when you're on the go because you can create a section of the article at a time. Your posts are synced to your computer and iOS devices so that you can continue working even if you switch devices or while on the go. All components of your article, like the title, keywords, messages, are stored in Evernote. HubSpot is an all-in-one tool for businesses that are looking to generate more traffic, leads, and sales by making their online presence known. As a testament to this tool's potential, Google Ventures and Salesforce.com invested more than $30 million in HubSpot because of its continued astounding growth in only a few short years. This tool features a variety of components such as a super simple content management system that enables non-techies to build and design their own site, a blogging platform, lead nurturing tools, lead tracking tools, keyword and SEO tools, landing page creation, and many other features. Its usefulness lies in its simple system such that newbies and novices can learn to use it as well as provide resources to train its users. 2012 seems to promise another huge leap for HubSpot. Discuss. For blog users, the Discuss comment plugin is one of the must-haves to generate multiple opinions from readers. You can comment with your OpenID, Facebook, Twitter, Yahoo, Google, or Discuss account. Seeing as a blog is central to social media marketing, this helps encourage traffic from readers by letting them participate in the discussions without having an account with your blog host. With the comments enabled, this could increase the viral potential of your blog post because comments are shared across networks such as Facebook and Twitter. Their comments track back to your site so that other people can join in on the conversation. The SEO benefits are huge as well. SEO is boosted when engagement and commenting take place. Discuss helps the discussion longer because readers can like and or dislike comments for more of an interaction. Discuss also lets you know
what members of your community are saying on other blogs. If you want to form real relationship with your readers, this is for you. It will help you expand your blog community. Discuss encourages the community to share by interacting with them even outside your blog networks. Networking is key because this is what strengthens your bond with your readers and commenters. Nutshell Mail. One of the underrated social media tools is Nutshell Mail. It hasn't received much critical acclaim, but it's a useful tool. It helps save time for people running small businesses as they have to keep up with almost every aspect of their business single-handedly. They're in charge of sales, marketing, and a variety of other things. On top of that, they also have to deal with social media. Nutshell Mail sends you a message of your recent followers, comments on your posts, and all your other updates as well as links, so as soon as you wake up, you have an update ready to help you manage your time. Social Bakers offers paid Facebook statistics as well as free statistics for Facebook and LinkedIn. It's a relatively inexpensive way of keeping track of where you are, how many comments on your posts, and such. Currently helps you see what is currently being shared on social media. It's free, reliable, and has a real-time search engine for Twitter and Facebook searches. It's also very easy to use and straightforward. With Blacko, you can select the websites you want to search through. Slash tags are used for URLs, friends, communities, and you can slash in what you want to include in the search and slash out what you don't want to include in the search. Blacko is essentially a tool that will help control and filter your search results thanks to slash tags. Social Mention makes social awareness a lot easier as a social media goal. This useful tool allows you to set up social media alerts so that you can measure awareness for certain keywords. It compiles user-generated content into a single pool of information. Cloud also measures awareness on Facebook and Twitter by graphing your score results. It's another easy, simple, easy-to-use tool for social media managers. PostRank Analytics measures results in improving loyalty as a social media goal. It is marked as one of the favorites of social media marketers. On Twitter, it's not so much the number but the people you follow or who follows you. Refollow makes sure they continue to follow but notifying you if anyone unfollows you or follows you. It allows you to lock into valuable followers you have connected with. Another feature of Refollow is filtering search on Twitter for uncovering insights such as the things you have in common with followers. It will help connect with followers the user has had no interaction with. A simple message to that follower can build a great business relationship. For social media managers looking for a decent list of like-minded people, Refollow is a helpful tool. It focuses on quality over quantity. Tracker. One way to find people who are influential in your community is to use Tracker. It allows you to pinpoint who in your industry has influence on your business and clients. It shows how social media leaders are contributing to your content. Tracker's unique intelligence helps you build engagement strategies and see the results of those campaigns. The last one is Sockmetrics. This web-based tool helps you to understand people and interact with them and their bearing on your campaign. The competitive influence feature lets you narrow your search into keywords so you can see who is or is not influential in your space. This tool can help you build a name for your brand and help you increase sales.